One of the things that makes survival Minecraft truly great is looking around other people's worlds and seeing what it is they did create. This is why I love to do Realm Review, where I look around the worlds that have been made by all of you and see exactly what it is that makes these Forever Worlds special. Or, that's what I usually do, but while I'm looking around each of these worlds, I'm also going to do my favourite hobby, data collection, because what I really would love to do is use this as an excuse to clinically work out something I've had on my mind for a while now. We've had one full year of Minecraft drops, and which of those last 4 drops has actually been best for the long-term survival world? Today we'll be able to look at each of those big builds and see which features from which drop are actually in there, and therefore work out which drop was best, not for the short-term, wow, this is so new, but for the long-term effect on the things that you actually see. Well, let's find out today, why don't we? But let's get started with the first round. Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and I hope that it looked like that, and this is the first review of the round we're doing today. It is a world that comes with a horse, and which actually came with a promise, because I have a lot of worlds that get sent into me for these, which I think is really cool. I'm glad that so many people want to share their worlds with me, but what we actually do is I filter by using the Reddit of people who have sent fun buildings, and I can already see the thing that I think enticed me into this world. But yeah, we're going to be looking around this world and getting a decent vibe as to how many blocks from each update are actually used in the major builds. So let's look around some of the most major things in this first world here, shall we? Starting with some little kumpai, and indeed also some armor. Wow, very nice for me. Oh, also they want me to sign the book for the library. World is not a copy. Oh, okay, I have to put the map back. Or wait, hear me out here. I don't have to put the map back if I just rotate everything else around it too. Oh no, what have I done? Yeah, if I rotate this and I rotate this... No, that's not how maps work at all. Okay, so I'll just put the jigsaw back together. They'll never even know I did anything wrong unless they watch this video. Okay, so this is Plumeria, started in February of 2021 in 1.16, and it's a single-player world that is played in peaceful mode with a few unobtainable blocks that they changed the mode to easy for, but this is a peaceful survivor world. Also, it's hit day 4700 while we've been in here. Congrats on the milestone. They say they want me to sign their book for the library, and so I'm going to do precisely that for them. Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome back to another signed book. Like and subscribe. No Housefire Club. Represent. Okay, that should be good. Let's title this Toycat's Book by author unknown. Nah, by Toycat unknown. Toycat. You know, Toycat known. There we go. Great. In the book that goes, and also out of the book can come some big fun things that I'd like to see. So let's grab those, let's put this on, and let's get riding on one of these horses. Oh, it's a fast horse too. Love to see it. So yeah, this world is 2021, which is arguably one of the, I think for some people that's an old world. It's approaching 5 years. In my mind, that's still fairly new, but I think I'm just being a boomer. But I am kind of curious to see, like, what a world that has only existed since the Never update looks like. And you can see that, like, yeah, the very, very modern builds, pink and blue planks, yellow and white planks. You know, we're living in 2027 by looking at these builds. But you can see that there are some very, very fun houses, including a blue axolotl. Whoa! Also, this is the perfect moment for screen dithering. I don't want to get too controversial at the start of the video here, but now when you get close to glass on Bedrock, it goes away. I actually kind of like that, being able to confirm that that is in fact a blue axolotl. What an insane task to pull off there. Nuts. And also they've got a tomato clown that I could use if I wanted to. So you can see that this is a world that is very planned, or a world where they had too much yellow wool and didn't know where to put it, and they hadn't quite understood that it could go in a chest. It's one of those two things, and it's genuinely hard to say which. So yeah, you can see that this is where the sniffer is going to go. Maybe a sniffer farm. This is where something is going to go. And in general, you can see a very orderly world, but I want to go to the small house. Oh, I like that name. That's a good name for it. Oh yeah, I like this a lot. This is ridiculous. I love especially having this small scale build in the foreground. This is really, really cool. They made themselves a 1:16, I'm guessing, scale version of the Minecraft villager house, and the only way to even scale the steps is with these giant bamboo next to it. This is insane. I cannot imagine how long this took. In fact, wait, I do know. It took at least, or at most, 1600 days. So this is pretty impressive. I think keeping a consistent pattern when you're doing a block like this, actually quite tricky, but this looks quite good. I've always been a believer in just like, use the same block and duplicate it 16 times, but this is a case where using textures to make textures has actually sort of worked for them, I think, and I really like that. I also love that you can see it from the top here, where apparently, oh, there's a hole to make a ladder. So if I had an elytra, I could see that. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb into this, and I'm going to try and find it that way. Okay, here's the front door in the front door. I'm very excited to see what it looks like in here. Oh, it's another door. And then, oh, there's a happy ghast. Okay, is there a more perfect location for one? I think not. But that represents our first feature from a new drop that is actually being used, in my opinion, to aid the entirety of the thing here. Because if you wanted to actually look around this build, not that there's too much to see, but if you wanted to look out the window and stuff, having a happy ghast would be perfect. So, okay, I'll count that for something, and then I'll climb the ladder out, because I don't think there's going to be anything at the top, but I can't help but want to know. Oh, there's a single lightning rod to prevent the entire thing from catching fire. That is a wise decision, given that this entire thing is made of wood. I would hate to build something on this scale and then come home and be like, oh no, I made a big mistake. So I just want to confirm for my own sanity that these are hollow, because if they're not hollow, this is obviously fake. But if it's hollow, this was really built in survival, and wow, yeah, that is impressive. So I thought I would pick up the block and put it back, but since this is a permanent copy, my bad, there is a hole in your world. I'll pay for the damages, assuming you accept empty locator maps as payment. I used to farm people for empty locator maps, so I'm actually quite grateful to have one of these. But yeah, this is such a cool looking house, and it's really wild to see the world from these proportions. It reminds me of Shrunk, the battle map. Seeing this in a real survival world, super, super cool. So, speaking of cool, let's make our way around the world, shall we? Okay, so this is a quarry. Oh, look at this. This is a very intense quarry. I like that it's lit up at the bottom. Really, like, shows how dark it is until that point. This is a quarry next to a very large house that I also kind of like. I think this is a classic example of taking a simple project, you know, destroying a chunk, and then adding a small piece to it to really make it have some extra life in your world. I think that that is a clever thing to do, and it shows that, you know, stories are a thing that really matter when it comes to Minecraft. Speaking of things that matter, this house right here is presumably something important. But what is it? Is it a house just for him to live in while he works on these other projects? Seems like maybe yes, although there's some redstone in the roof I can't help but be curious about. There's also a minecart chest here that I have to imagine is used for redstone in some way. So my apologies if not. Okay, yep, I'm doing some active damage to the world now. Whoopsie. Let's get back on the horse before anyone notices. My next stop is going to be Friendville. I've got to say I have some mild excitement and curiosity. Oh, there's skeletons about what's going on here. Interestingly, I thought from a distance this was going to be some pale oak, but they've used quartz and mangrove and deep slate to make what seems to be a little bit of a farm. Oh, it's Friendville because it's where all their tamed mobs go. Skeleton horses, regular... Oh, yeah, I like this a lot. I feel like a mount house is one of those, like, really essential Minecraft projects if you intend to, like, you know, like, sort them and have them somewhere in your world. Having it this far away is, you know, like, maybe a bit weird, but actually it's a very useful thing in general, and they've got a horse height tester right here. Love to see that. Okay, jump 1, jump 2. Okay, I definitely made it. Jump 3. Can I do jump 4? I can. Wow. I've got the highest possible horse jumper. What an incredible skill. As well as being so fast, you can tell this is the sort of thing that takes a long time to test. And it's cool to see that right here. There's also a little house just chilling in the woods over there. Oh, next to a ruined portal, I assume? It says on here, important for lore, please don't touch. What do they think I'm going to do to it? Anyway, looking around, you can see that this is a build made from cherry planks and white concrete, maybe. Odd combination. We've got a rainbow house. Very beautiful. But this is the friend zone because it's where all of their friends and all of their, you know, their furry friends. Well, I mean, I say all of their furry friends, then I see a :3 up there. But it's where all of their friends happen to be, which is just wonderful. And now, let's make our way over to that beacon because no matter how much you try to give me a compass to tell me where to go, I'm following the beacon. Oh, the water, until it takes me somewhere interesting. Oh, there's another giant build. Oh, I love this. What is it? Is it a giant tree? Yeah, it's a tree with a giant beehive attached. Love that. Oh, there's a giant flower on the way as well. But, you know, giant flowers are fun. Actually, giant flowers are really fun. They make this area on the way to the tree a little more special to me, but even better is this. Yeah, that is beautiful to see. It's much smaller scale, and weirdly it brings like a lot of joy and whimsy to this biome right here, which I really love by itself. I also love the giant furnace. This is something, this is one of my oldest like creative builds in my you know, like my kind of like creative world that's just there for like sketching out ideas and stuff. I really love seeing giant versions of any block, and the classic, the OG, the one that I've seen on Rail reviews for years now is this chest. I think this looks the tiniest bit funky, but that's the beauty, isn't it? There's literally 100 ways that you can make a giant chest. As long as there's chests on the inside, and there is, I'm perfectly happy. I have no complaints here. So yeah, this is a world that weirdly is all about giant Minecraft stuff, and it's got some builds in it as well. But it seems as though the mega projects have taken the form of those, with a little bit of island building over here as well, which is kind of cool. In fact, wait, let's get onto the islands. Oh yeah, I love this so much. This is, you can tell these were built from scratch too. This wasn't like they took an island and expanded it. This is where they enchant, and this is where they go for the portal. Super, super cool. So sadly, because of Bedrock changes, I don't think I can jump my horse down without risking its death. So I'll instead try to land on that fence where it'll be fine. Yep. Great full damage protection. By the way, notice how they have these little lantern sticks? It's all regular lanterns still, which to be fair is probably because they made it before the copper lantern was in existence. But still, it's interesting that the copper lantern isn't so good you would replace your existing builds of it. Instead, the copper lantern just exists, and if you needed to make new lanterns and were on a budget, you could do so. Also, I don't think I've actually seen any pale oak anywhere. I'll have to review the footage to confirm, but so far what I've seen is the Happy Ghast. Oh, never mind, this is pale oak wood. So there is pale oak wood in here. In one spot, one build, which is the music disc house. I like that as an idea, actually. Anyway, as you can see, this is a really cool world. Looking around it, it's very, very spaced out. And in some ways, I'm like, wow, doing all of that in 4,000 days is nuts. And interestingly, in other ways, I'm like, yeah, I guess I see how you probably could have done even more than that. But for now, because I have come in here and taken some stuff, and because this is a live copy of the world, I'll put as much of that back as I like, including my reparations for joining and messing things up. And I'll take one last look at the map, which should be our moment and our tool to guide us. Wait. No, I never saw that. I never saw whatever was happening over there. I've got to go past the tree and to the right. Okay. Is this the shopping district I'm in right now? It is. But yeah, we want to go to Enchanting Island and then to the Heartweather Castle, because that's the last big project. Okay, now that I'm here, I can first of all see that there is in fact a copper lantern, so gotta take that previous comment back, but also I can see that I'm absolutely blind because I missed a giant castle made of hearts that I was actively running towards because it had water falling into it. So, I guess what I will say is this is to the, you know, I'm sure there are blocks hidden in chests somewhere that I'm not seeing, and I'm sure there are probably also giant builds that I'm missing, but to the best of my vision and to my analysis, we're looking at all of the new blocks we can see, as well as all of the old ones, because this is beautiful. I really love what they've done here. They've taken the theme of love and castle and really gone to the next level. It feels like, you know, this is the sort of idea you see done at a small scale, relatively often, relatively nicely, but this is a cool heart-shaped love castle, and what's crazy about it is, if I'm not mistaken... Oh no, there's pale oak in there too. Okay, so pale oak twice in this build, in this whole thing, but it's still the same block, although no, there's planks there, so you can see that pale oak has been used twice, or maybe even thrice here, but in 2 builds at least, whereas we've seen copper used once, and the Happy Ghast also used once. But overall, after 4,700 days of play, it is really the oak and the leaves and the concrete and the wool that they're getting their heavy play in this world, which is interesting to say. But I think it's now time for us to go into the second world. Okay, so round 2 is giving me some real curiosity because it's just a giant bamboo forest in front of a map with a little barrel that says Toy Cat. And if we look inside there, you can see, okay, this is nice. There's some food, there's some tools, including a grave digger with a little skull emoji in there. And I guess we'll take this and we'll go on a journey. Wait, I guess I need fireworks too if I'm going to be doing this. And then also we'll change the sign to say Toy Cat was here. This is probably a copy, so we'll not. Oh, look at that! There is a desert well made out of jack-o'-lanterns. I'm loving this world already. Wow, apparently it is a crazy world. This really does raise the question, therefore, of just how much have new blocks affected mega builds like this. This world looks like it is exclusively mega builds, so let's go and read what's happening here. This is my Forever Survive world, started in 2019. It's hard to navigate and look at everything, but I made a path to the best starting point for the world. Stay on the oak path to the underground ice track. This is oak. Oh, I love it! It's a little reference to the Let's Play world here. Beautiful. And if we follow this, it will take me... Oh, this isn't oak. I shouldn't follow that. Although I like the idea of using different pathway colors to denote different destinations. There is an end portal over here, by the way. I love this build so much. It's so stupid in just the perfect way. In my favorite way. No offense, by the way. Also, you can have beacons go through slabs. Something I never realized you could use to do this. Which is, I don't know. Like, it's... Also, look at these... okay, you know, I'm loving this world already. But all of this is apparently not where I'm meant to be. Where I'm meant to be is at the end of this. Where I can... This feels like a fake journey, like they're deliberately taking me out of my way, but there's something they want to show me, and so I've got to see it. They started their first house in this village. Oh, wow, 2019, so that is, depending on which time in 2019, potentially pre-village and pillage, and you can see they've inverted a village house. You can see, oh, they've got a bunch of villager banners here together. Something is lagging the world in this direction, which is interesting. But yeah, this is the Minecraft world. Let's go looking around it, I guess. I would be so sure if it didn't say otherwise that this was a creative world, just for the giant diamond shack. But on the other hand, clearly it's someone who likes diamond mining, and also likes, they don't even like music. Yeah, this is just a weird bed in a weird world. But so far, you know, nothing to hate. I am curious as to why they don't have the days played visible. I've been contemplating in my own world turning this off. But I feel like there's basically no reason, especially if you're sharing the world with someone, not to have it turned on. There is a big chessboard-looking house over here, and you can kind of see, like, I guess they started with simple builds. This is like such a classic early days Minecraft starting house, and they started with these kind of smaller builds before turning them into massive ones. But because these builds are quite, I don't want to say simple, but you know, basic. You know, they are of not complicated nature. There we go. That's how you say it. I'm curious if we'll see any new update blocks around here. You can see there's a giant sky rail. There's a picture of their skin. There's giant farms. But as far as new blocks go, this world is very much taking it old school, which is funny because, I mean, 2019, it might be the oldest realm we showcase today. You know, it's from a decade ago, if you think about it that way. Like, a different decade. A decade ago would be misleading, but, you know, the internet is filled with misleading things, and so would this be any more misleading? And then we've got a giant, I'm guessing it's a clock tower or a lighthouse or something. I need to go to the top of this just to, oh no! I need to go to the top of this just to find out what the heck is happening here. Is it just a viewpoint of the rest of the world? Because if, oh, they've got a big flat mountain. This is, I'm getting like slight vibes of Let's Play World, if I can say that, if I'm unstubbornly. But with some real beautiful things mixed in there, like this desert well and this regular old well. In fact, it's a regular old village well from Console Edition with another well stacked on top of it. You know, I've got to say, they planned that very well. Anyway, yeah, looking around, you can see that this is a cool, constrained world. One of the points I'll make forever is that actually having a limited size world is cool and good, actually. And this world does it to a really fun degree. Yeah. Big fan of this. Really, really big fan of this. There is more to it. They're building some giant flatland in the waste there. And also, you can see there's a book, a library over here. and some desert wells made from other stuff. But yeah, despite it having now been a full year of new drops coming out, and despite all of the crazy complicated projects there are in this world, I've yet to see a single block anywhere placed down in this world that came from the last year. This could be down to the subscriber themselves. Maybe they don't have interest in, you know, new update blocks, or maybe they just stopped playing Minecraft about a year ago and only submitted their old world for realm review. But there's no indication of that elsewhere. It could very much just be the preference of the person here. But a full year of Minecraft updates, a full year of brand new content that could have been checked out, and I'm seeing none of it anywhere. So they've collected a bunch of spore blossoms from caves and cliffs. They've made themselves a grave site, which I love. But, oh, and they made a chest tree, by the way. You know, I would love to see a chest tree, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, I think that this is one of the most intriguing worlds I've ever been inside of. And I don't know if there's more to see, but I'll go to the Nether just to look anyway. It's really dumb for me to say this, but I think that this is probably one of the most bizarre worlds I've ever seen. And I love it, and I'm getting non-stop inspiration looking around it. Not necessarily to take anything how it is, but as a reminder that you could do something crazy and then build on top of that. So I like this idea of having paths be different colors to lead you to different places. That's something cool that I would love to see in my world. Or even like the way they've got the big pillars for each of their Skyrail things. But yeah, we're looking for new blocks, and we're going in the end to find it. Wait, no we're not. Yep, there's no boats here. So I guess we'll be going up this staircase instead. Oh, hello. How's it going, friend? You want me to dig you a grave? Oh, he's got both. Oh, I did something bad. He had a crossbow and a sword. Whoopsie. That was cool. Hope this isn't a permanent copy. I've seen no indication that it's a permanent anything, to be honest with you. Yeah, definitely the weirdest world I've ever been into for Realm Review. But, let's go on to the next one. Next up, we have Realm 2. This is one that comes with a bunch of Kumpai, as well as you can see, interestingly, there is a full set of enchanted netherite armor, super cool looking, and even a bribe, which is getting an achievement for leading 5 llamas. Apparently, Brian Harshman knows I don't have this achievement, and so let's go get it. I see a llama over here, and I see a miniature desert temple. I love this. Oh, is this actually a map of the world, but built to miniature scale? I think that's what this is here. Anyway, let's collect some llamas up, shall we? Reserved for Toycat. Build your own mini Toycat house. This is beautiful, I've got to say. Okay, so I am going to use this as my guide of how to get around the world, because there is a desert temple there. The spawn is presumably around here somewhere. And then also, there is a house, Tranquility. This is a really, really fun idea. But let's go looking around it first. And then we'll reserve our judgment and maybe get our achievement. Ooh, Toycat's wings. Wow, I've never felt... This is a cool thing. Like, one of the most important things about, like, showing someone your stuff is making them... You know, like, making someone feel... Also, this isn't... I thought it was Neverite. It's Leverite, chat. Ah, there's no chat. But, you know, it's Leverite comments. You're basically the same person. Anyway, the interesting thing here is that this is really, really fun. And I love the hospitality I'm seeing already. Let's hope it continues. So I'm going to grab all of the Neverite gear. It's clearly meant for me here. But, yeah, let's just start flying around, I guess. Whee! Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm guessing I have to specifically fly out of here to work out where I'm going. But I think our first stop should be this desert temple. Because why not, right? Okay, so this second world is really delightfully put together. Honestly... I think that, so looking at it, you can say, oh, look at that. There's a desert temple covered in, interestingly, frog lights. This is a really interesting look at how you can build a world and really build, you know, like, I feel like I look at a lot of very cluttered and very spaced out worlds. This is a spaced out world that immediately, like, has intrigue because of the path through the desert here. But let's take a peek up here and see what's happening. There's 34 enchanted golden apples in here. What is the context behind leaving that in a random shulker box in the middle of a potion room? Anyway, one of the things that is immediately clear is that Brian Harshman loves their building, and interestingly, someone who likes building, as you can see, clearly following this world that clearly has happened here. Something that's interesting is you can see how many new blocks are used here. So Firefly Bush, 1, as well as I think this is desert grass. Might be regular grass to be fair, but that's the spring drop, our first mention of it. Then there's some pale oak wood from the Pale Garden Awakens, and then also some pale oak roses and some pale vines. So it seems as though the winter and the spring drop are the ones that are of most interest to someone who loves their builds. But we'll see if that continues on as we go through the rest of this, because clearly there's, I was worried I would need to look around the tiny bit of the world and, work things out that way. It looks as though all I really need to do is fly along this path and follow it to our next destination, which is this delightfully Aztec or New Mexican looking, collection. Very, very colorful, with a happy ghast, by the way. But what else is going on here? Is there any inspiration we can take? I do think that it's cool to look around builds like this, and it's great to see when they're made. It's not my, flavor of inspiration, but I love the unique ways that blocks are used here and the ways it all fits together. And I love the happy ghast as a way to take the colorful part of your world and tie it in together. Otherwise, though, you can see there is, for this section of builds, there are no other new blocks. It is just a place to put a happy ghast, which means that one of the happy ghast's values is just putting it in a place where you have some builds to look around. And I think that is hugely interesting in its own right. But yeah, you can see a bunch of copper trapdoors, but those already existed prior to the copper drop. And so we can say, looking at this, that is now another one for the spring drop, actually, right? Or was the happy ghast the summer drop? It was the summer drop. So we got summer, spring, and winter, but no autumn in this world. Oh my god, look over here. Look at what we are seeing. Oh dear, that is an incredible thing. So, yeah, looking very briefly, this is a map. Oh, look, the map wall. This is a map of the world. It's very, very desert themed, including an apothecary, a adobe village. Okay, so I got the right vibe with that kind of New Mexican thing. We got oasis kind of thing over here, including this kind of beautifully large farm for potatoes and wheat. Honestly, this is really cool by its own right. Just take a bunch of grass, put it in your desert, and then farm it, and you make something that is just unique for how you've done it. It's, I feel like I talk a lot about flattening terrain or kind of moving around terrain, making your own biomes. Adding dirt to a desert and making it a farmland is a surprisingly good idea, it seems. There's also a surprisingly big pyramid that uses some prismarine and some desert blocks. And inside here, oh, there's a big tree. Yeah, this is a great example of creating a world just with some Minecraft builds. You create something that immediately has a story to it, that immediately has, something that makes you want to look around it. And sadly, even though that copper golem is clearly a copper drop feature, we can't count that as a use of a copper drop thing. Instead, what we'll do is we'll fly over to the rainbow here and see that there's a rainbow pig. Is that a rainbow pig, actually? There's a rainbow animal of some form, a rainbow sheep, I would have to guess, logically. There's a lot of pink and purple and fun builds over here. And then there's an actual rainbow. So I'm guessing this is just the fun area of the world for, trying out different builds. Very, very unique things here. So this is the rainbow parkour. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to win it first time. No, I don't have any food. I need some food. I did it. I did the parkour. I don't understand if that was really parkour, but I did do it. And then we'll fly over to the next set of parkour, and we'll do that too. Yeah, I think parkour might be being used a bit too... Oh no, never mind. It's good parkour. Got me good. Okay, this is so weird. This feels like the sort of build that someone would make in creative as a 9-year-old, but they've done it in full-on survival, and it is bizarre. In actually kind of a cool way. I'm going to take a peek at the Nether. There's nothing telling me I should go there. Oh, I bet actually those compasses probably told me where to go. But I'm going to go here anyway. Okay, it's a simple Nether. It is... Oh, there's an ancient debris mine and an ice boat to a mansion. And here you can see a KF ladder for Froglight and Garstier Farm. I'm guessing AFK. Oh, yeah, they got one properly set up. They must have destroyed the entire bastion around it or something. But in either case, very, very cool. Wait, actually, no, they didn't. I guess it's just a basalt delta, so it happens to be spawning a bunch of stuff. Okay, so the Nether seems to exist as their place for farms, which is an interesting way to use it. Have a dimension that is specifically just for farming stuff. And then also, home this way. Don't mind if I do. I'd love to go home. Okay, so the home is another kind of mix about craziness area. Very intriguing as well. We are far away from everything else in the world, it looks like. Oh, except there's a Nev port on top of the hill. So I'm guessing, yeah, this world kind of like started in one place and then all of the impressive builds were jammed together somewhere else. Oh, look at this! I don't know what it is, but I am invested in seeing. It is a house that is like built into the side of an icy mountain. And what is inside the house? A goat. Is it a goat farm? Is this the goat and his 2 chests? I don't know what I am seeing right now. I just know that it is not a place to sleep. And so let's fly home until we find somewhere that is. I do talk a lot about how sometimes there's just a lot of like clutter and it's not clear like how you get from stuff to each other for someone who isn't familiar with the world. This is like an interesting opposite example. There are like 3 areas that are connected together, and then everything else is just like, if you know it's there, go get it. But you couldn't even see it without, you know, having a super high render distance, which you can't have on a realm. So very, very interesting all in all. But yeah, have I seen everything now? I feel like I can't have. Okay, let's go look at this. Do you think this is a house that I can sleep in? It doesn't make sense for it to be. But what else would be in here? A beacon, a bunch of copper grates, a bunch of pots, and a way out, I guess. Okay. Oh, stairs to a trial chamber. Oh, that's such a cool thing to do. Oh, that's really fun. How did you get such a high spawning trial chamber? I need the answers to that question. This is such a cool way to do it. Almost like, okay, yeah, I like this a lot. This is a cool project. Like, I think that exposing your underground structures, turning them into a part of your world, very, very fun and cool by itself. I think all of these torch flowers that are sitting on farmland, I didn't know you could do that, to be honest. I didn't know that the farmland would stay farmland if you had that there, but I love to see it anywhere. And yeah, let's now go to bed. And I think maybe we might have seen all the major things we're here to see. You know, if only there was some way to point me around, you know, if only I had picked up those compasses. But sadly, there is nothing I can do about that now. Certainly can't go back. Okay, I've returned home to the spawn and oh, that was weird. Made myself a beautiful rendition of my house, as you can see, perfectly scaled, and then also got myself a little compass so I can go see Kingdom Prismatica. As you'll know, one of the things I like to do in this series is be very honest, maybe too honest, when I'm looking at builds. But what I do have to say is this is one of the most interesting collections of ideas that seem like they are abstract and different from each other, but I am amazed at just how many days. This world is apparently just 2 years old, so it's one of the newest examples of a world that should be using a bunch of different new block builds. But interestingly, I think that this is a really cool collection of different ideas, but very few of them actually revolve around any of the new blocks. There was 2 Happy Ghasts, one near spawn and one a little further away, and then in the Kingdom Prismatica, I'm guessing that has changed, but based on how far apart, away it is, I might be wrong about even that. Yeah, there's tough bricks here, and there's a beautiful little cloud fortress. Love where that's going. There's this beautiful, it looks like a kind of old ruined church over here. Oh, with a basalt farm in. Oh, by the way, there was a big list of things I must see that I entirely missed because I am bad at reading instructions. But what I will say is that this is a weird little forest with a random bench in it. But I'm fascinated nonetheless. Why are there doors here? This is a modern art project, and so I like it the most. Whoever worked on this should be very proud of themselves. I am very happy with what I've seen here. These are the sorts of builds that are my speed, if you ask me. But yeah, as far as new blocks go, interestingly, none from the Copper Drop, but a giant statue of a mob from the Copper Drop, showing that the Copper Golem is more important than all of the other blocks put together. Which is really telling, right? What do you think this is a farm for? Do you think I'm allowed to take a peek? Just a little peek. Oh. It must be a mob grinder of some description. But what type of mob grinder uses fences? Spiders, maybe? It's gonna be something weird spawning in here. Oh, it's an iron farm, maybe? You know, not my place. I'm gonna get out of it. Can I fix that? No, I can't. Oh, this is going to be a live copy of the world too if they wanted me to build my own Let's Play house. So I definitely shouldn't have gone and seen what was inside there. Anyway, I've got one last house to go and visit that wasn't connected on the main pathway. Again, it's interesting that two of them were like so beautifully put together. And then the rest are like, I don't know, it's across the world if you want to go and find it. Oh, and the other one, the last one was this one, where I just was. I found this, wait, this is a different compass that points to the same place. I think. Huh. Anyway, I am fascinated by this world, and I would love to come back and see how much progress gets done here at some point for sure. But as far as the world is right now, it's a really, really grand mega project with a lot of, projects around the edge which are still taking form, and one which uses very few new blocks. Something I'll definitely keep in my mind as we move into the next realm. Okay, welcome to Realm 4, which is going through some issues. This is a realms problem, not a world problem. But it's still kind of cool to see, right? It's like the world loading in for the first time, but it's loading in like this. Hello, Toy Cat. This is my long-term survival world. I started in 1.17 for PlayStation 4. I believe 1.17 is 2020, and they've since moved it to PC. Oh, I'm so sorry. Right now is not the time to be playing Minecraft Bedrock on PC. Anyway, 100% survival, no duping or cheats. Ice Path leads you to one of your dream projects. This is a live realm, so do with that info what you will. Anyway, the best view of everything is from the floating island. Let's go. Iron armor and some golden carrots. It's not much, but it's nice enough to make me feel like I'm welcome. Let's head over to the Blue Jays, which, you might know are a team in... it's got to be baseball, right? So they are the Canadian baseball team for Toronto. Yeah, I know my... I don't think baseball, it's probably hockey, but they play a sport. And what's interesting is immediately we are surrounded, even though this is a world that's 5 years old, by brand new blocks. It is, wow, spring to life, full winter drop, and then also the summer drop, all in just this single castle for the Blue Jays. Side note, as much as I love, castles, and as much as I can appreciate sport, I can't, by the way, but, as much as I can do both those things, it's a bit weird to have Blue Jays written on a castle, right? Am I the only one who thinks that? Anyway, so free drops immediately here, showing that this world is benefiting a lot from them, at least as far as the measurement we use. Also using the new mobs over here, but it's the same build, I'd argue, so no extra points. Free drops in one place, but what else is going on? Wait, no, I was meant to follow the Blue Ice Pathway. They definitely are Canadian, so I was correct about that. Oh, there we go. There's the fourth drop. Copper Age. That's one for everything. Although I would argue, what is this actually achieving? Is this even a build, or is this a modern art project? But yeah, we're looking for an ice pathway that I have lost. But to be fair, I don't think I ever saw it. I see a pretty bridge with some houses. I see a nice little volcano. And I see not a lot of anything else, to be honest. Where am I, hotel? Where am I? Hotel. Okay, there was a little bit of a grammar syntax I had to fix there. But otherwise, beautiful hotel. Gotta say, you're not going to have a lot of customers if you force them to climb up scaffolding to get to their rooms. But, credit to them anyway. But yeah, we are just trying to look for an ice highway. It's over there, I think in the sky. So let's follow the X to where the spot must be marked. And let's see what's up happening there. So I do love this little canal here. It's very basic, it's perfectly straight in a way that canals probably shouldn't be. But also I kind of love that. I also like this little pyramid of sweet berries. It's good to know that there's food waiting for me. But I'm not here for any of that. I'm here to go into the Blue Jays. That's right, they've finally let me on the team. They've decided that having someone who is bad at baseball might be it is baseball, right? Anyway, I'm just going to keep guessing it's baseball. I'm gonna guess that having someone who's bad at the game might be the solution, because your opponents won't see it coming, right? Anyway, speaking of things that people don't see coming, let's go past this Never Reactor. Oh, they didn't give me a boat. Okay, so I'm jumping, I'm doing great. I'm getting myself to the red. I've gone past the X, so the spot has been marked. But is that important? Yes, it is. There's a random hole in the ground here. Very concerned about realms today, but there we go. The people in the woods say to jump. I'm not going to trust the people in the woods in the slightest. I'm going to try and find some wood. So actually, the best way to find wood, based on the fact that I spawned over there, would probably be to die and then get some bamboo. make a craft. Oh, look, there's an upside down house. But I'm going to craft myself some bamboo to make a raft and then come back up here. So that is the best way to do it. Let's fall on the... Oh, yep, that is the ground. Let's find out. Oh, this is such a weird world. But again, kind of in like a way that I see it to be good. I feel like I love whenever someone has a weird idea, even when it doesn't stick the landing. I'm like, well, give you some credit for, you know, going with the idea there. So I need to make myself, I can't make a crafting table without getting a crafting table first. So I think I need to go inside of this upside down house and hope they have one in there. Yeah, that's not getting inside a house at all. Actually, it is. So, oopsie. There is no crafting table in here, which means I'm going to have to be a little bit vandalistic. I'm going to die if I'm not careful. Go get outfit, get outfit. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not what I was looking to do today. I'm sorry. You might have to fix that. It's not my fault. No, it is my fault. See, look at this. I'm going to excuse my poor... I'm not going to excuse my poor behavior. I'm going to explain it by saying that I am bad at Minecraft, but it is still my bad, and it is still my responsibility to fix it. See, look at that. That's learning. That's basically therapy talk right there. Okay, we're back. It's daytime. Let's go and see the dream build. I think I can see it already, actually. I'm guessing it is this mega cube that he is building out of stone blocks right here. Oh, no, no. Oh, okay. Whoa. I guess we're flying. That is an absolute astounding thing to build. And it's interesting to build it off the ground. I wonder if that is an intentional decision for some good reason. This is such a cool project when you can get it done. It's kind of mentally taxing when you really start to think about it. But it's really, really, really fun. And it creates such a cool illusion. One that honestly just makes me say, you know, why don't we just make it? Why don't we just? Anyway, I'm going to now follow through to this ruined village. Very rare find, by the way. And just take a peek at that up there. Absolutely shocking. So, weirdly, this is a 2,000-year-old world. 2,000-day-year-old world. 2,000-day-old world. There we go. I'm good at speaking. It's my job. But this is a 2,000-day world. And interestingly, it uses the most features from new updates of any single one of these we've seen. And it's kind of just been to put it as decoration in front of a building to commemorate the Blue Jays. So I don't know what this tells you, but so far it's giving me a very interesting picture. One, which we can complement by going to one last realm. So there's a real struggle with, usually I get more realms than I get. I love when people want to show me their worlds, but it's hard to work out how to go to people's worlds, and sometimes I consider like pre-looking at them and seeing if they're any good. No, what we're going to do is I'm going to go to my realm invites, and we're going to pick randomly by scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling up, scrolling down, and then just hitting accept. And let's see what's in that world, shall we? It's called America by Luke Skywalker. Well, okay. I feel like there's a funny joke if the world is just a bunch of Nevrak that's on fire surrounding the spawn. I hope it's that. I'd be disappointed if not. Okay. Okay. Well, you know, it's not the way I would have done the joke, but it looks like we might have to pick another realm to review. Although, I mean, just for the sake of completion here, this is a 12,000-day-old world, and how many new blocks do you see? I would be surprised if it was none, but they love their cobblestone here. Let me tell you, they love their cobblestone a lot. No, I don't see anything new in here. But technically, round 5, what is my verdict? My recommendation is that you don't make giant cobblestone walls out of lava and water. But if you did want to, I mean, this might be the place to do it. Right at spawn, with giant holes inside the cobblestone. I mean, what's not to love about this world? 10 out of 10. I've seen everything I need to see. It's unfair to the other worlds that I spend too much time in here. But let's go on to the next one, shall we? It's an anarchy realm, but hackers will be banned. There's an interesting thing. A lot of anarchy realms struggle with the concept of that, because you have to make that the implicit rules, but if you say it explicitly, too many people specifically try to get away with it. Anyway, let's pick a new world by scrolling. Big Bang 2. So it's funny, I feel like Big Bang 2 is a world that perfectly would justify the concept of having explosions everywhere. But I bet this is going to be really nice. It looks like this realm was started by a Frenchman. They've got their national flag on display. So let's go grab ourselves some chicken. Oh, they've got a desert well. I am glad they are doing desert well. But let's go to the portal, like the sign says I should. Home to the left, never fought to the right. I'll go left then. Whee! Oh, this is nice. A little bit of grass in the never hurt anyone. Okay, welcome to home. Oh, they've got a map wall. Everyone loves one of these. They've got another map wall. Everyone loves one of these. And they've also got a happy ghast. In fact, 2 happy ghasts. Apparently, everyone loves those. They are the one consistent update feature that everyone wants to have in their world. We've also got a beacon hole in the ground, which is another consistent thing people seem to love. And otherwise, you know, admittedly, it's 1,000 days old, so it's not like the oldest world in the world. In fact, it's specifically the youngest world we've seen today. You can see as far as big builds go, not a lot of them existing. There's clearly big plans here, and it's an interesting idea to build the infrastructure for the plans before the plans themselves. But one of the fun side effects is you get stuff like, oh, no, never mind, like this, boom. This is using the brand new copper bars that were just added in the Copper Age drop. And they've got the new variant mobs inside here. I cannot work out what they were doing with this, though. I really want to know. There's got to be a great explanation. But I am not privy to whatever that explanation is. And so instead we have something very confusing. And I guess the cows will understand. But yeah, the summer drop, the spring drop, and the autumn drop, all making appearances here. We've also got what seems to be the start of a giant emerald beacon over a lava pit. And a... what even is this? A big furnace place? Are they building Auschwitz or something? Like, what are they... I think they might... You know, actually, I worry they might actually be. I don't think I can... I don't know if I can in good conscience look at this build anymore. So let's pretend I didn't see that. Yeah, I've got to say, very, 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 very odd world. They've got a throne for themselves. Very, very, very strange one. But, as you can see, this is a world that has some great bones on it. Oh, and they've also done a miniature end. Okay, you know, I've seen this too many times now. I want to have my own miniature end. It just seems fun, right? It just seems fun. Anyway, yeah, that is the last of my fireworks. And so I guess I haven't seen inside their base. Maybe this will change my mind on everything else. But this feels like one of the oddest Minecraft worlds that I'm watching in, like, not even a half-baked formation, like a quarter-baked mode. And I want to know what their plans are for this, because it's just a bit odd right now. Anyway, that is our 5th world, which would leave me feeling and wondering, like, what have I even done today? If it weren't for the fact that now we get to recap and work out exactly which update is the most popular and which update has helped long-term survival worlds the most. I'll concede 1,300 days might be pushing the boundaries of what is long-term, but let's assume they have long-term plans and say that, oh, and look at the, if they need that many melons, they definitely have some form of long-term plans. And so if they have long-term plans, let's assume that this is a long-term survival world in the making. And so yeah, now for the question, which update helps these worlds the most? Okay, so you've got your inspiration. Now it's time to properly come back through and review each of the worlds to see exactly how much they used each of the new drops. This was a fun data collection session that made it a lot more fun than just looking around some worlds, and the first world was one that I really was inspired by. The giant flowers, the giant tree, and the giant house were all beautiful to me, but the only way that they actually used new blocks or items was the happy ghast floating around the giant house. There was some pale oak, but it was in a build that was off to the side in the future marketplace, and there was also an aged lightning rod, which technically counts for something, and a copper lantern sitting at the very edge of the world, but otherwise that means that the first realm only used so technically the winter drop as well as the summer drop and the autumn drop, and there was nothing from the spring drop that I could find anywhere in there. And given the focus on plants, that is interesting because the spring drop is in theory all about natural life. The second realm was even more interesting because it had a lot of giant projects, the sort of thing that, I'll be honest, if you left me to my own devices for years and told me I had to play Minecraft every day for hours a day, I think I would end up building a lot of stuff like that. However, despite this, there was not a single use of any feature, mob, block, or item from any of the last 4 drops, telling me that this world either was abandoned or maybe just for style reasons this person doesn't like using newer stuff. That doesn't seem to match the fact that there were some never update blocks and things like this, but given that the world is 5 years old, maybe the never update feels old and OG to them, whereas, the use of a pale flower doesn't feel right. I don't know for sure, but what I do know is that Brian Harshman's realm was next. This was one that didn't have an achievement at spawn, and that clearly soured my mood. But more seriously, they had pale oak, they had multiple happy ghasts, and they also had firefly bushes, but notably were missing any features from the autumn drop. So far, the winter drop and the summer drop have come up strong, while the spring drop and the autumn drop seem to be hit and miss. But round 4 was most interesting because it's the first long-term survivor world I've ever seen that actually has used features from all of the last 4 drops. Now, this was standard back in the update territory that, obviously you would use features from every update because how would you not? But in the drop territory, this is the first world I've seen to use pale flowers, firefly bushes, a happy ghast, and technically on those weird boulders, those aged lightning rods. This was very interesting, and although this is a world that I think will get more interesting in the future, it has to be said it's the first one to score points for all of the drops, while the 5th world technically scores points for none. I think ultimately we'd have to say this is actually, it's not that it doesn't have none, it's that it has NA, which is funny because NA is also North America. But more seriously, round 5, I did technically join it, but what the heck was going on there? Well, round 6 also made me ask this question, but in a way that I did find to be kind of interesting, but they only had a happy ghast and some copper bars. They technically had some new mobs, but I couldn't tell if they were intentional. Honestly, there's a lot of things in that world I couldn't tell if they were intentional, but therefore we can total up all of that data together and say that across all of these long-term, multi-thousand-day-old worlds, we have these results. 2 uses for the winter and spring drop out of 6, 3 uses for the autumn drop, the copper age, and 4 uses for the summer drop, therefore telling us, I was kind of expecting that maybe the winter drop would have an unfair advantage because it's been out the longest, but interestingly we see the exact opposite. The winter and spring drop really didn't interest that many people, at least who were making longer term worlds with longer term ambitions. Clearly they were useful for people who had the idea of starting in a brand new biome somewhere, but as far as long-term worlds, it's the summer drop and the autumn drop that clearly have the biggest impact, and if we look into it even deeper than just saying the drop, we can say that the one feature that every single world took advantage of, bar round 2, was the happy ghast, and so as a result, really, the summer drop didn't get anything done for the large majority of players, but the one feature it did get was so important that everyone thinks they need a happy ghast somewhere in their world. That is something incredibly notable, and tells us that realistically, they can add as many new features as they like. They can be new types of wood or new types of flower or even new types of copper, but the real things that are going to matter are the features that bring genuine joy to the end of a world. And honestly, this gets me thinking that actually, as I look back at the last year of drops, I think the things that I like the most are the small little touches. It's not the major headline features that gets people excited to download them, but instead I think it's the nice little tweaks in the way Minecraft is getting a little better each time they do these, outside of current Bedrock PC issues. And so yeah, I would say that that is my overall take. I think that the Happy Ghast is the clear winner this year, making what would have otherwise been the most forgettable drop into perhaps the least forgettable. And it's weird, it had vibrant visuals, but I guess technically we can't argue that's a feature because we didn't have it on. Should we do round review of vibrant visuals? That's a question for you, because for now, I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I look forward to seeing you in round review December. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want to do your round review in my world, you can check out Toycat's Let's Play World on the marketplace right now. It's just 660 coins, and interestingly, because of certification issues, actually got delayed, so it's not coming out tomorrow, but it's coming out as soon as they solve whatever that is. It is hundreds of megabytes over thousands of days across multiple platforms, and if you want to be as critical to my world as I am to yours, go check it out. It'll be the latest version after the Copper Age came out. Yeah, it should be some fun, but I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.